What is going on, online fitness coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives, Make Money Online Trainer podcast. This is the #1 show for online fitness coaches who are trying to grow a successful online business. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about respecting your time. Okay. So guys, this is the #1 podcast for online fitness coaches. And the way that we grow is when people like you share the good message. All right. So if you get any sort of value from my podcast, I would appreciate it if you could screenshot it, share it in your stories, tag me at BMarkFit. Let me know that you're tuning in. That's all that I ask. It's a small one, I promise. And if you feel really like you get a lot of value, then you can give me a rating on the podcast too. The way that you would do that is you scroll all the way to the bottom of the podcast episodes. You got to use your thumbs. There's 370 episodes. You can leave a star rating and a written review. I want to start this podcast with some gratitude. All right. So today we're talking about respecting your time. But I actually want to start the podcast with some gratitude because the last 10 messages I've got from new followers or from people that just started interacting with my content have said something very similar. And I actually sent this to my coaches earlier. I sent this to Caleb and I sent this to Jeff and I sent this to Cole. And I've been getting a lot of DMs lately from new followers on Instagram, and they all say similar things. And the similar things are like, oh, I heard about you from a friend, or my friend's in the 10K Coaching Academy, and they said amazing things about it. Or I heard about your podcast from somebody at the gym. And this morning, it actually hit me. I was like, yo, all of the work that I've been putting in for 2.5 years, going live every single fucking day for 2.5 years, producing 375 podcast episodes for 2.5 years. Well, actually, it's been 1.5 years for the podcast, almost 2, is starting to pay off. Like, of course, there's, the people within my network and my circle that like know who I am. But now it's like all of the work that I've been putting in for the last 2 to 2.5 years, it's like starting to spread. Like people are finding out from my Instagram from their friends, and they're coming to my page because their friend said something. And I'm like, that's fucking cool. Like I really value that. And I appreciate that a lot. And it's just like the last 2.5 years of consistent action are starting to pay off. And I think that like, if you're an online fitness coach and you're just getting started, I really want you to know that like when you're just getting started, like you've got to be playing the long game. I talked to a client, Andrew Chow, about this in the mastermind. He's like, yeah, bro, this week I really changed up my content strategy and I've been working on producing more high quality live streams and giving more value and going less for kill shots. And I'm like, dude, that's the only way to go. Because for me, I would much rather deliver so much value over time and be like so omnipresent and give so many actionable pieces of advice and be like the source for online coaches to come to when they need inspiration, motivation, or tactics. Like I would rather do that than be known as the coach that has good ads but gives no value. Like I think that like that's the reputation I want to create. So for those of you guys that are interested in creating an impact or a legacy, I just want you to know that like you can't ever give up and you have to start somewhere and you have to be fucking consistent and it takes time. And it's been 2.5 years of consistent action for me. And finally, I feel like I'm getting to a point where it's like people are coming to me and it's spreading and it's like, it's a lot less of like, of me outreaching and it's a lot more people coming in. And I'm super fucking grateful for that. And I just want to remind you that like, if I can do it, you can do it, because I was an online fitness coach before. I just transitioned to a business coach 2.5 years ago. So if I can fucking do it, then you can fucking do it. All right. Let's talk about time. Time isn't a sexy topic. And I know that you guys like learning about lead generation and attracting more clients and all that good stuff, but, it's pretty hard to write content if you are caught up with 12 to 16 hours of other things throughout the day. Or if you feel like you're always super busy and you're overwhelmed with your current workload, it's pretty hard to get anything done, whether that be lead gen or studying or producing or whatever it is, if you are currently overwhelmed and strapped for time. Out of curiosity, those of you guys listening right now, you can give me a head nod if you're just listening to the podcast, or you can let me know. How many of you guys feel like you don't have enough time in the day? You don't have enough time in the day. I feel like you could use a lot more than 24 hours. Like if I don't have enough time, I could use a lot more than 24 hours. Because I feel like that's what most people feel like. Most people feel like they don't have enough time. There's too much to do in a day. They can't get everything done. They're overwhelmed because there's so many things to do. That's what most online coaches feel like. And I do think that we're going to talk about time management, but I want to go into this as well. Like if you're an online fitness coach and you have clients that are in your program, or even if you're talking to prospective clients that are looking to join your program, how many of you guys find yourselves feeling compelled to get back to people right away? Like if you have a client that's paying you $250 a month, how many of you guys feel like if they message you, then you have to message them back as soon as you possibly can? Like they message you at 6 p.m. and you're like, oh, I got to message them back as soon as I saw their messages come in. I got to get back to them as soon as possible. How many of you guys have ever had a client before and then they sent you a text and then you didn't respond, and so they sent you another text, and then you felt guilty because your client had to double text you before you got back to them? How many of you guys have felt that? How many of you guys feel compelled to reply to your clients instantly if they have a problem? Like your client DMs you and they're like, hey, I've got a problem with XYZ, and you see the preview of the message and you feel like you need to reply immediately. How many of you guys feel like that? How many of you guys feel like you have a hard time taking any time away from work, right? Like it's like as soon as you take time off work, you almost feel guilty because you have clients and you're like, there's people that are paying you money and like you don't want to let anybody down. So it's almost like you have a hard time taking any time off work because you feel guilty. This one, I feel like this is the point that hits. So how many of you guys get to the end of your workday and you're like, okay, so I'm done work. I'm like, and then just about as you're about to finish, you're like, oh shit, I just got to do one more thing. And then you open your computer to do that one more thing. And then you're like, oh shit, like I also got to message Derek back. And then you message Derek back. You're like, oh fuck, like I didn't get back to Sarah as well. And, oh shit, like I got to get that invoice sent as well. And that client just messaged me back. And then before you realize, you're 2 hours extra when you said you were supposed to be done work. How many of you guys do that? See, this, yeah, all of these things, I know exactly how you feel because I did all of them. And this was the exact same conversation I had with the client of mine yesterday. And as a workaholic, you guys, like, don't get me wrong, I'm the type of person that like has a really hard time turning my phone off and actually taking time off work and actually taking time for myself. But over the course of the last 7 years, I've made enough mistakes to know that like, it's important to schedule it in. But as a workaholic, I understand what it feels like to always wanting to be putting in the work. And we want to do everything in our power to the best of our ability to get it all done. And we want to get back to all of our clients, and we want to be on all the social media platforms, and we want to post as much as possible, and we want to generate leads as much as possible. But here's the thing. Here's the fucking thing. Here is the thing that I want you to write down right now. Ready? Write this down. The work is never done. Write that down. The work is never done. How many of you guys have ever finished a to-do list? You're like, write this big to-do list for all the things that you want to accomplish in your day, and you're going to conquer it, and you're so excited, and go through the entire list. You get it all done. That's great. But then the next day, what happens? You make another to-do list, right? And then you finish that, and then you do another one. Guys, the work is never done. I think that the biggest mistake that online coaches make when it comes to organizing their time is assuming that they can finish. So that they're like, then they'll work, and then they'll be done. And then like, oh shit, I got to get one more thing done before I can finish. And then I got to get one more thing done before I can finish. And I got to get one more thing. The work is never done. The work is never done. If you're an online business owner, or if you're a business owner in general, you know, there's always more shit to do. Like you can always find more things to do. The work is never done, and you'll never finish. And thinking that you can finish is why you're mentally struggling. That's why you're struggling with your fitness goals right now, because the work is never done. And so instead of trying to get it all done, and instead of saying, I can't stop my work day until I'm finished, identify what must be done daily, do that, and have that be enough. And for me, it's like, Guys, this is a secret of wealthy people, right? A secret of wealthy people is you need to devise a system for how you spend your time. This is a secret of wealthy people because I understand the mentality behind, oh man, like I wish I had more than 24 hours in a day. Like, but we all have the same 24 hours in a day. All of us, Richard Branson, Warren Buffett, Michael Jordan, all of the like Oprah, everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. It's not like one person gets more time. But think about it. How do you spend your time? How do you spend your time? And I'm not even just talking about like, because we can spend our time and are you getting an ROI for what you're spending? As an example, like, okay, you can say you're spending your time on going to the gym, but then when you go to the gym, you're on your fucking phone and you're texting the whole time. So you're spending your time, but you're not getting an ROI because you're not actually investing. You're just spending it. It's like wasting it. You're wasting your time. But you only have 24 hours in a day, so why would you waste a single minute? And it's the same thing. You can be spending your time writing your content for 60 minutes and it can be garbage because you didn't actually focus. So you could be spending your time, but you could be wasting your time. Like, are you investing your time and getting an ROI or are you just wasting it? How are you spending your time? Are you being intentional? Do you have a system? Are you organized? Like, not having a system for how you're spending your time is like going to the gym, doing 3 fucking curls and expecting to have a shredded six pack. And this is like the non-sexy stuff that nobody likes talking about because as an online fitness coach, everybody just wants to know, yo, B, how do I land more leads? Yo, B, how do I get more clients? Yo, B, what should I be posting on TikTok? Yo, B, like, what's the best lead gen strategies? All of that shit's useless though. All of it. Because how many of you guys have been so busy that you didn't have time to study a course? Say me, if that's you. Like, oh, like I've got too much shit going on right now. I don't have time to study a course. Say me if you've done that. Or like you're struggling to grow your business, but you can't find time to watch the content in the 10K Academy. I'm calling some of my students out here. You're my student, I'm fucking calling you out. You're struggling to grow your business, but you don't have time to study the content, but the content is where you're going to learn how to grow your business, right? You get it? It's like not having a system for how you're spending your time is the same thing as going to the gym, doing 3 curls and expecting to get a shredded six pack. Or doing keto and hoping to gain 5 pounds of lean muscle, right? Like, what the fuck? You're like basically throwing spaghetti at a wall to see what sticks as a system for organization. And as an entrepreneur, like, guys, the thing about, okay, I'm going to tell you that this is funny. If you're an employee for an organization, like you're like working for 9 to 5 or you're working for a company and you go in there, it's like there's a very specific set of tasks that you need to do in your 8-hour time window, right? It's like you're there for 9 to 5 and then you need to do this and then do this and then do this, right? Whatever. So it's like, and at your 9 to 5, the cool thing about being a 9 to 5 is that you get paid no matter what. And so you could literally, like, I don't know about you guys, but when I was working my 9 to 5, like I would like screw around for as much as possible. Like I would basically like just waste as many hours as I possibly could to get to my fucking shift. And then I would finish my day. And as long as I got like the little bit of work done that I needed to do, then I would like count it as a win and I would take my paycheck. It doesn't fucking work like that in entrepreneurship. But a lot of you guys will quote unquote work on your business for 8 hours, but maybe get 1 to 2 hours of productive work done because you spend 60 minutes writing your content, but 45 of those minutes are scrolling through fucking Instagram and you're wasting time and you're not actually intentional and you're not actually productive. Or how many of you guys have done this? Quote unquote lead gen, but then you actually are just browsing through hashtags and browsing through Instagram profiles and you're not following anybody or commenting or fucking doing anything productive. How many of you guys have done that? You're quote unquote lead genning, but then you go into the likes on your photos and you look at profiles and you don't fucking do anything. You're not taking any action. You go into Facebook groups and you say you're lead genning, but you just spend time reading posts. It's like, what? Like, what are you doing? Like, you can't grow your business if you're not spending your time properly. Right? You guys get what I'm saying? Like, we can't do that. So guys, say it with me. I respect my time. Say it with me. I respect my time. All of this comes down to having a level of respect for your time. Guys, I'm going to go dark on you here for a second. All right. I'm going to go dark on you for a second. You're going to die one day. Straight up. You're going to die. You only get one life. The hours that you spend are not time that you get back. This is like the dark. This is like the truth. I'm going to go dark for a second because knowing that I'm going to die and that the hours that I spend, I don't get back. Like, why would I waste time doing shit I don't want to do? Or why would I waste time not being productive towards my goals and ambitions? Like, knowing that you don't get your time back and knowing that if you're 40 years old right now, that you can't go back in time and you're only going to get older, why the fuck would you waste any more time? Why? Like, and up to this point, don't get me wrong. Like, I think that all of us have like some growth to go through and we have some things that we need to like experience in order to get to a place where we respect our time. And I was actually talking to my client about this the other day. I was like, dude, like, because this client that I was talking to actually comes from a similar background that I do. And like, I was a drug addict and like, I was just into drugs and drinking and shit. And so I felt like I didn't respect my time because I was a drug addict. And so I almost felt like my time wasn't valuable because I was an addict and I had to like earn the respect back for myself by like over delivering to others. And that's why I would compromise my own integrity to serve other people, because it's almost like I didn't respect my time because I viewed myself as this drug addict. And so I had like a low self-image, which caused me not to respect my time. But now it's like, I respect my time so much that like, I'm sure you guys might have gotten this message from me on like a Saturday. Like, if I get spam texted by one of my clients on Saturday on my day off when I'm hanging out with my fiance, it's like a pretty firm boundary that I'll draw back. Like, I'll send a message or a voice note back being like, hey man, like, this is my Saturday. I'm spending time with my fiance. I'll get back to you on Monday when I'm back at work. Have a great weekend. Like, I respect my time so much that I refuse to compromise the time that I'm spending with my fiance to get back to one of my clients' problems. Right. But a lot of online trainers don't respect their time. And so when a client messages them on a Saturday on their day off, they feel guilty if they don't message back because they respect their client's time more than they respect their time. Right. I don't fuck with that. And I'm going to drop another fucking little thing here for you guys. If you don't respect your time and you have a significant other or a wife or kids, right? And your client messages you, and because you don't respect your time, you get back to your client instantly and there's no boundaries there. Not only are you taking away from, like, not only are you not respecting your time, but you're actually disrespecting your significant other's time and you're disrespecting the time you have with your kids, right? It's whack. So we need to make sure that we respect our own time, that we value our own time enough so that we can draw boundaries being like, yo, appreciate you so much. I'll get back to you on Monday. I'm currently spending time with my wifey. Hope you're having an amazing weekend. And I promise I'll get back to you Monday morning. Like, drawing the boundary. And guys, let's talk about success for a second. All of this comes down to having respect for your time. Like, I respect I want to be successful so much. And like, I respect my time so much that in order to be successful, I know that I only have 24 hours in a day. Right. And so because I respect my time and I want to be successful, like, I know that I can, like, there's a certain amount of things that I should be spending my time on that will lead me to success, like producing podcasts and going live and helping my audience. Like, that's a high value activity. And so I respect my time and I respect my success. And so I'm going to spend my time on the things that are going to make me more successful. I'm going to spend my time on TikTok because I think that TikTok is one of the hottest platforms right now. And I respect my success and my time so much that I'm going to make sure that I spend my time on TikTok because I know that that time is going to produce me an ROI. Right. And like, spending time on TikTok, spending time on my success, spending time on my podcast is a result of respecting my time and valuing my time and valuing my life energy and knowing that I only have a certain amount of life energy. I'm not getting any younger. I'm fucking turning 30 this year. And so I need to respect the amount of time that I have and know that I should be putting it towards things that are going to build my life and make it better. And without the fundamental respect for my own time, like, it doesn't matter what fucking lead gen strategies I learn online or what cool new posts are working on TikTok, because if I don't respect my time enough to spend time studying that shit, then I won't learn it in the first place. So it comes down to like a fundamental respect for how I spend my time. Guy, online trainers, say it with me. I respect my time. I respect my time so much, and I know that the work is never done. So I plan recharging as a part of my system, right? Like, knowing that the work is never done as an online coach, and like, knowing that, like, no matter how much you do, you'll never finish. You need to respect your time and know that because you'll never finish, you need to plan recharging as a part of your system. But so many online coaches are like, they don't respect their time and they're trying to get all their work done. And so they're like, let me know if you guys have this mentality where you're like, I will only give myself a break when I'm done work, right? When I'm done, then I'll take a break. Like when I'm done this month, or when I get to 10K, then I'll rest, or when I hire my next employee, then I'll rest, or when I sign my next client, then I'll rest. So many online coaches only rest when they get to that place, but you'll never actually get there and the work is never done. And so you need to plan recharging as a part of the process. You need to respect your time, right? Like I respect my time so much that I know that I need to recharge. So I'm going to plan that as a part of my process. Does this make sense? And the last thing when it comes to respecting your time, you guys, is having the discipline. Like I think that a lot of online trainers say that they're going to work on content for an hour, and they say that they're going to get back to clients for an hour, and then they say that they're going to study the course for an hour. But when it comes down to actually like implementing it and like having the discipline to see it through, a lot of online coaches will kind of write content for an hour and kind of not, and then they'll be on Instagram scrolling, and then they'll go to lead gen, and then they'll just look at Facebook groups aimlessly, and then they'll look at people's pages without following, and then they'll go to study the course, and they'll be kind of watching the course and kind of watching the Netflix show. And because they're not actually disciplined with the time that they're spending, the activities that they need to do end up bleeding into their free time. They end up bleeding into their time with a significant other, and they end up bleeding into the night. How many of you guys have been there before? But for me, I respect my time so much, and I know that I only have 24 hours, that I'm going to be disciplined while I'm doing the activities that I need to do in order to be successful, so that I get to take some time off at night and I don't need to be thinking about work, because I know that I did the things that I needed to do in order to be successful throughout the day. Does that make sense? I respect my time. And online coaches, you need to have the same level of respect for your hours. What a good way to end. For your hours. Guys, that's it. That's all. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Change Lives Make Money on the Trainer podcast, the #1 show for online fitness coaches who are trying to go successful online business. If you guys got value from this episode, I would appreciate if you spent some time working on your own schedule. And maybe even working on some boundaries. Like not being so willing to message clients back instantly, knowing that like your time is valuable and like you can get back to them within 24 hours and that's still okay. Taking some time off to recharge on the weekends and not waiting until you're done your work before you take time off. Because again, this is a trap that a lot of online coaches make, is like, I'll take time off when I get to 10K. I'll take time off when I'm not so busy. I'll take time off when. And then we get to a point where we're actually burnt. And a lot of online coaches, unfortunately, have to burn out before they learn this lesson. And the lesson is that the work is never done. So you should just plan recharging into your schedule, like self-care, a day off, like ending work at a certain time, so you don't have to worry about like burning out. And last but not least, you guys, be disciplined, right? It's not enough to have a workflow. It's not enough to design a schedule. You also have to stick to it. You also have to be intentional with it. You also have to be disciplined enough to execute the tasks that you said you were going to do when you said you were going to do them, so that you get the freedom in your spare time and you don't have to be worrying about the work that you haven't finished yet. Guys, that's it. That's all. Hope you guys have the best day of your entire life, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.